So while I may not look it, I'm absolutely nervous at this moment. My hands are cold, my voice is a bit croaky, and I'm really, really scared that I will forget this entire speech. And the reason for that is that about 20 years ago, I did. So I was in class 6th, and I was walking up to the podium, completely confident, with a very, very well-rehearsed Urdu debate. And then I walked up to the podium, and I touched the cold surface of the wooden podium. And I looked across the room, and I could see people sitting in the back and in the front, just like right now. And I forgot everything. I forgot my entire speech. I went blank. And so right at this moment, while I'm here talking about something I'm deeply passionate about, talking about something that took me a really, really long time to really come into, with me is standing the same moment 20 years ago. So as Azam mentioned, I teach mindfulness, which is the act and the art of being present in the moment. And so let us just practice what I preach. So if you could all just come along with me on this journey, I would really love that. So let's become really aware of this moment. And what that would look like is that you can either close your eyes if you feel comfortable, or you can keep your eyes open. Okay, so just close your eyes or keep your eyes open, and just balance your body on the chair. Just take a breath in now. Breathe out. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Take a breath in. Breathe out. And just bring your attention to your feet touching the ground. Bring your attention to your knees. To the stomach area. Don't judge what's coming up, just be with it. Bring your attention to your chest area. Bring your attention to your forehead. Bring your attention back up to your head, and then back to your breaths. Take a breath in again. Breathe out. Take a breath in again. And breathe out. And when you're ready, if you have your eyes closed, you can open your eyes. And now just take a moment to hear the sounds that surround us. You know, how the room has just quietened down. So when was the last time that you were fully present? I often start my workshops with that question. When was the last time that you were fully present to yourself, fully present to a loved one, fully present to your work? When was the last time that happened? And I'm surprised to hear that for many people, that moment was many years ago, many months ago, or many weeks ago. What that's telling me is that from that moment when you were last fully present to this moment when you're sitting in this hall or wherever you are, while you've been here, you've not really been here. So where have you been? So we know the answer to that question, right? Where are we most of the time? We're up in our head thinking, exactly. So what are we thinking? So some of those thoughts are benign, just like, that's a cuddly looking dog. Some of those thoughts are wonderful, like, oh, I really love my child. And some of those thoughts can actually be dark or destructive or difficult. And what I was fascinated to realize was that the dark and the destructive thoughts for all of us follow one of three patterns. So I would love it if you could just raise your hand if this category of thought applies to you or to a loved one. Okay, so the first category of thought is forward-looking, anxiety-provoking thoughts. So that would look something like this, sound something like this. Where is this presentation going to go? Where is my life going to go? Where is this relationship going to go? What am I going to be doing in my life? Does my life have any meaning? So anybody in that category? Okay. Now the second category of thoughts is backward-looking thoughts. So why did that have to happen when I was 5? Why did that have to happen when I was 6? When I was 13? Why did I have to make that decision when I was a teenager? Does that sound familiar to you or for yourself or for a loved one? And then the last category of difficult thoughts is just resisting the moment. So what I was doing at the beginning, right? I was nervous and I didn't want to be nervous. Or it can be something like, oh, this room is so cold, or the person next to me is smelly, or I don't really like this, or anything like that which shows up for you. Right, so most of the time when we are resisting, we are either fluctuating between the past and the future, or we are resisting the present moment. Where are we not? We are not where the action is actually happening, which is this moment. So while I realized this about 9 years ago, I took this upon as my life's calling about 2 years ago. Around 2 years ago, I had my son, Ali. I remember when Ali was born, and he was just about a week old, and I was holding him in my lap, and I was cradling him, and I could see that he was looking at me with the innocence, with the complete presence of an innocent child. And there I was looking back at him while he was looking at me completely present. I was looking back at him, but I knew that I wasn't fully present. My head was all filled with fears for him, fears for myself, plans for him, plans for myself. And a lot of these fears were just unfounded because like many of the people in this room, I had had a pretty successful and secure life. I graduated from Harvard, one of the youngest in my class from a hyper-competitive program on a Fulbright scholarship. I was the CEO of a $1 million nonprofit at 31. I had great mentors around the world. I had fantastic friends. I married someone I really loved and admired. And here I had a lovely child, and my head was full of thoughts. And I wasn't fully present to life, to the miracle of life as it was unfolding right in front of me. Does that sound familiar? You know, if you're trying to be present to a loved one, or if a loved one is trying to be present to you, or if you're trying to be present to work, or if work is trying to, let's say, be present to you, but then you're not there. So that was the frustration I felt at that time. And then I did what every mother would do, right? Try to stop thinking this way. I realized I was doing something wrong and I wanted to stop thinking this way. Stop it. So let's just try an exercise. So don't think about a pink elephant. Don't think about a pink elephant. There you go. What do we think about? A pink elephant. So when you're trying to engage with the world of thought with thought, it doesn't really work. So what actually works is that you can go beyond thought. And how do you do that? You actually become aware of what's happening in yourself and what's happening around you. And how do you do that? So let's just do another exercise. And this time, I would invite you again, for those of you who closed your eyes, to close your eyes. And for those of you who are uncomfortable doing that, maybe try doing it this time. So just close your eyes again. And bring your attention to your breath again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And now become present to the sounds that surround us. The sounds of the fan, of the AC vent. Just become present to it. Just listen to it 100%. Now become present to the sensations in your body. Whatever is coming up, aches or pains or subtle sensations, just accept them, just be with them. And now become aware of your thoughts. Where is your mind at this moment? Just let it be. Become aware of your body again. Become aware of the sounds that surround us. Don't resist them, just let them be. Become aware of your breath. Just be with it, inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, gently you can open your eyes. So that was a little taste of what mindfulness meditation can feel like. That's something you can do to become more mindful in your life, to become more present every moment. Another thing you can do is actually while you're in a meeting or right now, just become aware of your breath. Bring your attention to your breath. Bring your attention to your feet, to your hands, to any body part 100%. We live in a really mad world, and there's a lot that needs to happen to change it. We need to focus on the things that matter. We need to build relationships of empathy and connection. We need to solve problems that are highly complex, hold immense amounts of data in our mind. And for all of this, we have to be present to the present moment. And so for that, I invite you to add mindfulness to your life. Thank you for attention.